probably get started here in a little bit.
All good.
But what I did want to do before we kind of started was just to sort of talk, and then like what I wanted to do was build um the the podcast room with you.
Yeah,
So I
that
have a
happened.
spot if you want to TP to me.
Uh-huh. EP bass player. Ooh,
What do you
yeah.
think? Like right here, or maybe somewhere in the wall, somewhere that people can like walk to. I don't know,
Yeah. Hmm. Which
like
side?
I don't know, like over here ish.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
inside of here. I don't know.
like you can enter
Yeah.
in the. Yeah.
Do you think that would be a good spot, like right here, like, and then we could have like a window or something over here just to see out to the spawn to the people.
Yeah, I think that would be epic. Yo.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, we can kind of do more. We can here. I've got SP
I
Super Pickaxe. You don't have World Edit. Admins
no.
don't. I give them to
Yeah. No,
specific people.
yeah.
But,
I
I
think
mean, I don't have a
Kylo the
reason.
Stoner used to have World Edit,
He
so.
still does have World Edit, actually.
Well,
Tyler the Stoner does.
epic.
Hmm. Maybe the room needs to be a little bigger. Or
Or
do
with
this number
this wall
ish.
so we could build a window.
Yeah, okay. If we get that. Shit. I have this bound to Fireball.
Oh yeah, I had that found for like pseudo pineapple ones. Forgot
For
about it. It was
for
in
which ones? For pineapples?
I had no like pseudo pineapple to say something on like a gold block. So I figured if it's
Oh, so you can make pineapple say things. That's funny.
pineapple. Yeah.
Wow. So you tied the thing, or you uh, power tooled is what you use.
Yeah,
Power
power
tools.
tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Handy, but you gotta remember to
That it's on. Yeah.
disable them. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, we can fill this up.
Yeah.
Kind of. I can't. Let me
Yeah.
see. You started the server.
It
Thingo.
was
Human Thingo. Let's see.
October? Maybe? Was late 2020.
Human. Was
Um,
it underscore or just Thingo? Human Thingo?
this human thingo.
Human.
Oh,
Did you not? I think it was. If I get on, let's see.
October 12th. Monday, October 12th at 11:31 a.m.
October 12th. October 11th to us. Officially is
Yeah.
October 11th for Trimbo time, but your time it was October 12th.
Yeah.
And you said you need to find sheep. I need a bed. This was during spawn 5.
GV was still an inspector. So,
Jeez.
yeah. I joined and GV was like one of the only people on. So,
So you've been
that
around
was.
for 9 months.
Oh,
What else do we want to
damn.
do with this place?
Do we want to leave it as stone or do we want to build it out of like a different block?
Well, I think we should leave some of the naturalness in, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I think that was like an old podcast rooms as well.
I don't know if
Um,
we should use dirt or not dirt, but logs or whatever
maybe.
for the edges and
Hmm.
stuff. I don't know. Optic Zero, that's an old player too. Didn't you join with Optic? You didn't join with Optic Zero.
I'm not sure. Let me search myself up again. Definitely remember Optic Zero though.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. He was
Yeah.
cool. I mean, he never caused any problems. At least I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. Don't remember Silver Skywarp. I remember them.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember them well, here's the thing is I remember them being on and they made this massive thing during Spawn 5, but they didn't I never interacted with them until they I saw that they were into Halo. Believe it or not, Silver Skywarp was kind of the person that um, got me back into Halo just because he had a quote from Halo on his Discord account.
Ah,
So
okay.
where did you build your first house? And
It was really close to the motorcycles factory on top of like a little
oh
hill.
yeah,
And yeah, and I remember I copied it from like the taco thing's house because that was like right under mine.
the
So I made it
taco
look.
thing.
It was like I don't know what it was called. It was like I don't know, but under my mountain there was a little lake and there was the whole taco lake thing. I do not remember that well, but I based my house off that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we should line the outside of this. Unless Schnitz wants to help. Line the outside with like a dirt. I don't know. Well, no, we could leave it the way it is. But the dirt with glass just doesn't work.
Yeah, I was thinking, what goes well with glass? Do like a circle instead of a rectangle.
How did you
I've seen a
find
lot of that.
how did you find Trimbo?
Well, I wanted a server that didn't have like land claiming and was still vanilla and all that. So I went on Reddit and I think went through a few servers, but they were all like had slash wilderness or whatever, and they were all
Mm,
just not really my vibe. And then I
right.
found Trimber and it was amplified. It was different. It was pretty fun. Uh, I didn't have to talk. I didn't actually like talk and chat when I
No,
first joined.
you didn't. I I still think of Human Thingo as like a different person because when
Yeah,
you
I was
became lesbian,
very
that's when you started to. I mean, you were still. I mean, you became part of like Trimbo as Human Thingo, but you became lesbian Jesus just a little while after that. So it's like
is
your
that
identity as Human Thingo kind of went away, and lesbian Jesus came in.
yes, the lesbian Jesus was born.
What made you change your name besides the fact that you're
Uh,
lesbian?
yeah, Nymphadora changed her name to what was it? Something to do with Bingus. Um,
Oh, Bing,
Praise
like,
Lord Bingus.
yeah. Praise
And I was
Lord
like, oh,
Bingus.
like you can change your usernames because I was like dumb back then. So I changed it, and then I was like gonna change it back to Human Thingo, but then I was like Bean, so I changed it to
The
Lesbian Jesus.
the bean, yes. Lesbian Jesus. It's you now. You can't go back to Human Thingo. It's just not doesn't work. You have
Yeah,
become lesbian Jesus.
I have. It's pretty epic.
Well, you got involved in the server pretty quickly. Like, how did you? What was your kind of? Was there a specific player that made you kind of integrate a little bit more and make you feel a little bit more comfortable, or was there like an event?
Yes, Crooklyn and I burning down the motorcycles factory.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that was like the first time I really did something. Because I normally I just kept to myself, did regular Minecraft survival things, and then Crooklyn came along, and we ate some pufferfish and burned some stuff down, and it was pretty fun.
What? What? Okay, so what was your? You guys were like talking about this, or did it just happen?
Crooklyn came up to me and gave me some pufferfish, and it was like drugs. And I don't know, I don't think I'd ever talked to Crooklyn before that,
Really?
so it was pretty interesting.
So Crooklyn was the one that sort of got you into like at least so you I mean you weren't in VC before that. I mean even after that you weren't really in the VC that much. But
First time I joined VC was Motorcycle's birthday.
really
Yeah.
I remember Motorcycle's birthday. I don't remember you joining VC, but God.
Yeah, we were at like Feastus's place, and I was like, sure, I'll celebrate. So, yeah, it was really fun. So I just kept joining, I guess.
Come on in here. What do you think of this? This is much
I like
smaller
the
than
floor.
you like the floor. We need to extend it out all the way, I think. Or maybe
Yeah.
give the floor like a stone outline. It needs something else. This is such a bare room.
It is a little bit. It needs a bit of. Well, I'm thinking like I don't know why, but I'm thinking black stone on the outside to surround the windows or something.
Right?
I'm not sure. Or quartz. What goes with oak?
White. I always liked white.
Yeah, maybe quartz.
So what made you join the VC? Just because it was Motorcycle's birthday, or did you just like...
I think everyone at like Feastus's base was in the VC and they were all talking, and I wanted to kind of know what they were talking about. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'll join VC just to so I understand.
Ooh, you're doing the round thing. You said that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm not very good at circles, but you know,
It's hard in Minecraft.
yeah, blocking.
So you joined the VC. Who do you remember talking to first? Who was all there? Who do you remember that was there?
I think it was like pretty much all of the TF cards and Feastus,
Right.
basically. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, I think that was it. I don't think GV was there. He may have
Really?
been, though.
Was
I'm
Schnitz
not
there?
sure. I think so.
Okay.
I do believe so. I cannot build circles. Yes, he was.
Nice. Schnitz was there. He's there a lot. You go back in
Yeah.
history, there will be epic moments, and if you could get pictures of epic moments in history, you might see in a corner Schnitz just kind of sitting there.
Chilling.
Yeah.
This is a football shape. This is not a circle.
Let me see.
Ah,
Let me see.
it is definitely a football. Yeah, it's like an oval. It's. I mean, it could work, but
What if we do something odd in here? Something kind of strange.
something intriguing.
Like, I don't know.
Okay. It
Yeah.
still looks like I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it stop looking
It
like
it looked good. I mean, I'll be honest. The way it was before looked fine. Well, that's fine. I wanted a little bit more room, just so you could see out a little bit more, maybe. But
Yeah,
at the
I do
same
think I liked it
time,
more. I don't know. Decisions
yeah,
are
that's
hard.
fine. That looks good right there. Like what you got going on with the, yeah, make it symmetrical. That looks good.
Yeah.
Neat.
It looks like a
Thank you,
football, but
Stein. Stein has
it's
his thing.
yeah.
About to mute somebody. But yeah, so you and after that, after you got into the VC with on gaming's birthday, was that kind of where it just happened? You just started joining the VC more often, and
I think so, yeah. It's just like, well, I don't talk. I just kind of vibe and I listen to their
really,
conversations.
did you
I
talk?
don't contribute. No,
At,
I did not talk
okay,
for
interesting.
a
So you
long
just lurked in the
time.
back.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
I don't think I think GV bribed me like a stack of iron blocks or something and diamond blocks to get me to say the word hello. I think the first day I talked was when JDMJ was banned.
That was at the beginning of Spawn 6 ish.
I think it was still before Spawn 6, but there was
Oh, it was
like
right when the boom happened when um what do we
wait,
think of
let me
this? We're in
see.
December.
Yeah, I think it was sometime around that. JDM Jake. Uh, Let me see the last time JDM Jake was on, and that'll be when I talked.
What else should we add um to the podcast?
It was right. That seemed right. Could not. Hmm. Okay, no.
I don't know. Maybe add some pictures.
JDM Jake. Okay. I will find when he was banned eventually.
Well, let me see. Let me go to VC, JDM underscore Jake.
It's JDM Jake 101. Okay, I see. It was in staff chat. Um, American dates are weird. Why does Discord do this to me? uh, uh, God, it was the 3rd of January, I
So it
think.
was earlier this year, and that's when you started talking in VC. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, so you spent about 3 months just hanging out. Who did you really interact with first?
Uh, like GV, Sky, Feastus, basically, I think. Not sure. I think also Caleb and Aerosmith.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Aerosmith hasn't been on him forever and a day though.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
day he'll get married to Caleb. One day.
Hopefully, we still have that plugin on here. Yeah.
We do.
So Spawn 6 was really your blooming period. It was kind of where, I mean, Spawn 5 is. Don't get me wrong. It's a big point, but
Yeah.
I don't know where to put the table.
Uh, Maybe like in front of the window.
Yeah, it's kind of
Somewhere.
across here, kind of like that, I
Yeah.
guess. But we'll do it like this. We'll do it a 2. Let's do. Want to make it out of copper?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Waxed copper slabs.
Which type of copper? Like the orange? Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of this?
That looks kind of cool.
Goddamn. There. The staggered legs. Yeah, it's a bit long. I don't know. What if we just did this? What if we made it all hovering?
Epic. We don't care about gravity.
Yeah, we do not care about gravity here. And we made it 3. If we made it 3 like that, we can have birthday cake with candles on them now.
Oh
That is
my god.
great.
That's epic.
Okay. This
Um,
podcast room isn't that well. We need to put the item frames on.
we need places to sit.
Oh, we do need places to sit. Would you take care of the chairs?
What? Hello.
Would you be so kind?
I could be so kind.
I
That is something I can do.
item frames. I want to put a
I
bunch of item
can't
frames
have it
here.
even because it's 4. Maybe I can do it like that.
Yeah, how long did you go before you made any like rank on the server?
Um, well, I got mod while I was in Spawn 5. I still got admin when I was in Spawn 5. I got
I know because I remember talking to you about about
yeah,
becoming an admin.
yeah, I think like a few
Yes.
days after I started speaking, uh we talked about that, and then I did get promoted before Spawn 6. That's all I
You were,
remember.
you got promoted before. Okay.
Yeah, I think I sent you a message. Wait, let me find it. I sent you the greatest message ever. I'm
DM
gonna
through
scroll
Discord.
up a bit. Yeah. I said, "Hello, good sir. For years I have been tormented by people more powerful than I, and I am tired of it. Would I be too naive to believe that you would bestow the powers of demigod upon me? Please give me admin. I want to piss off GV. Put into words by me, GV, and 2 words by Feastus."
Oh
It
my
was pretty
god.
epic.
And
And then
that's
the
what did
day
it.
after, yep, day
Yeah.
after I got promoted.
I remember thinking that because you you reminded me of Deadly Chris,
Oh
kind of.
yeah.
You seem very mature. And I thought, okay. And then you told me your age and I was like, "What?" That
What?
was an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But here we are, you know, like I think this is pretty cool. So
I
you
still
yeah,
technically am not old enough to be an admin, I don't think. I think it was 14.
it
So,
was 13 actually is what I said.
ah, damn. Well, now I am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right on. I like the view. This is a good shot of the you can see the spawn pretty well from up here.
We need chairs for like spectators, because in all the other ones it's like,
Oh yeah. I forgot
yeah,
about the people.
the people.
Yeah, yeah, you might be right, Schnitz. Yeah, right here. Or we could
Yeah.
do this.
Doesn't GV also like having his little box for being
He does. I don't know where he is
person?
right now. I didn't really tell him we were starting this, though. I kind of
Yeah.
wanted it, you know, like I want. That's another problem with podcasts is you get nervous beforehand, and you're like, fuck, like okay, like you know, you're kind of you just kind of want to get it over with. Like I get nervous, you know, and I get nervous because y'all get nervous, and I feel weird because it's like it's hard to start conversation, you know, when people are kind of nervous and yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Like if you remember the Yowzers and Gaming podcast, that was
I
yeah.
think I watched a little bit of it. I don't think I
You
was
might
there
have been
for it.
there.
No, I think I was there for Caleb and Aerosmiths and like
Tyler the
uh
Stoners.
Tyler the Stoner. Did Albino was in one at some point.
I don't think I ever did a podcast with Albino. He might have been in one. I don't think I
think
have an
he was. It
yeah.
wasn't exclusive. It was
Okay.
definitely. I think it was like 2 or 3 people, and he was one of them.
Oh, okay. See, I don't mind those. Those like where there's 2 or 3 people um doing a podcast or whatever at a time. I think
Mm.
that's it kind
Yeah,
of opens up conversation a little bit more.
that podcast was pretty interesting. I think you were like talking about aliens and
Yes, I
whatnot.
was. That was the UFO. That was one where I was talking about UFOs.
Yeah, yeah. That was epic.
This looks good. What do you think so far?
Pretty
I'd
epic. I like
I'd
the
I'd use
pacing.
this as a podcast room. What if we put we could put stairs over here maybe?
Ooh, item glowing item.
I don't know.
Potentially.
What if I'm just messing around here.
The glowing item frames don't really glow that much. They just kind of.
They exist in a glowing state, but they don't actually glow.
They look like they're glowing, but they aren't
I
actually
know, they
glowing.
don't add light.
I mean, they add like a tinsy bit, but like, because we've got all the lanterns, you don't notice it, so.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So,
Actually, it kind of illuminates the items.
Spawn 6 was a very interesting time. I think January was one of the most peaceful. We had Hank. I promoted him to a moderator, and
Yeah,
he
he's still
disappeared. He
fun.
started donating to the server, and they are completely gone. Do you remember interacting with Hank at all?
I don't remember interacting, but I remember like his shops. He had really useful shops at
Yeah.
Spawn 5, and then he was gonna start building one at Spawn 6, and then just never finished. So
I showed him the place he should make his house in Spawn 5. I was like, "Come here, check this out." And he yeah.
he kind of left like Crooklyn. He just kind of disappeared.
I think Crooklyn was, you know, pushed away
Yeah.
slightly. by
I don't
war.
remember much. Oh,
Well,
potentially.
yeah, I mean, it was. Well, I know that gaming. That was kind of funny. Like gaming, he started a war with gaming, and gaming brought tanks up to his damn. Uh,
I remember that.
yeah.
They were like right next to my house too, because Coconut and I were like neighbors. So that was pretty
Did
epic.
Kirkland make the pollution factory?
No, that was gaming motorcycle,
Yeah, yeah. If that
but
looks ugly,
we did
Schnitz
burn it
can change it.
down. Map art still doesn't work.
It map art still doesn't work. Wait, what?
It doesn't do the whole thing. You have to do map tool. What was it? Get, I think, something like that.
It's not chair. It's
Uh, map tool there? No, I forgot what it was.
door. I couldn't figure out what a door was for a second.
Well done.
Okay.
Map tool explore. You have
What
to do that
if
to get map.
we did that? Just add a little bit more stone. What do we think of the lighting in here? Does it work? I feel like we need something over here.
Yeah, there's something. I
We'll
don't
put
know.
a
Map tool explore.
crafting table. There we go.
That is
I don't know.
nice.
Whatever, we could do. Like,
Yeah.
so,
I'm trying to figure out map.
map tool.
But yeah. You have to do map tool explore to get maps to work. It's really inconvenient. There we go.
Okay, okay. So you have all the maps.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Beautiful. A singular map.
I don't know why GB doesn't want to join.
I
It's
know.
fine, I
Wait, let
guess.
me go to spawn 5 and see what's in that. Or spawn 6. We'll go spawn 6 first. See what's in that podcast room.
Oh yeah, the Spawn 6 podcast. We did that like, I don't know how many podcasts I did in there. I think I did like 5 total.
Yeah. How do you get? Oh, there it is. There's the entrance. There's like a second floor, big
TP lag.
table.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite podcast rooms.
Yeah, this is
I
a really nice podcast room.
I wish I did. I wish I used it more. Like this looked so good.
Yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah.
A little room up here for
For
GV.
GV, yeah. God. The hell's going on over here? Everything's black. There's no light.
Is it
Wow.
like tinted glass something?
No, it's the black on the. It's like absorbing the light.
Huh.
The black.
They
Yeah, that's crazy. That's darker than it normally was. Huh. God, Spawn 6 is. It's come to the point where Spawn 6 is nostalgic now. It's like. You go back and it's like the Joe color keeps changing on that. Not building, but. God.
Lego
Spawn
thinks
6 was an
GV's doing
era.
VR.
You
Spawn
what?
6 wasn't VR. Lego thinks GV's doing VR, so
Oh.
that's probably where he is.
Right
Spawn
on.
6 was at. There needs to be something in this space though. Maybe like books or
Yes.
something.
I don't know.
I can't spell. This is an issue.
Ooh. So you joined. Spawn 6 happened. When did you became an admin? When did shit start happening on the server? It was around April.
Yeah.
That was when we had players. So Spawn 6 happened. It was great, sort of, because it was the end of the TF Tards era, and I was very sad about that. This looks good, but it was still moving towards something. And then we had
Yeah.
players like Bjarn, Thrud, Waggle, Blizzard,
Satula, just
those
all of them.
guys. Yeah, Satula joined a little bit later on, but he quickly
Yeah, he did.
integrated himself. But
Mm,
God, that was an interesting little experience.
it does. Very.
Cause I made the guns happen in February,
That was
and
epic.
Waggle, um, he tried to steal a gun. Um, and so I banned him immediately. Like I was just like, no, you like I was extremely strict on guns on the server. Um,
I remember that. It was just like banned.
yeah, ban immediately. And then I don't know how he was able to appeal that ban. I can't remember if it was one of the admins. I think it was. I think it was
I don't know.
Bjorn. Do you remember when
He
Bjorn
might
and
have also
Thread?
been in BC.
It might have been who?
They might have. I think Waggle might have been in BC at the time. Question mark
He was in
potentially.
VC, but he wasn't talking.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But God, that was so you were there when he got banned the first time, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was. We were doing like the we were on Fortnite Island or
Yeah.
whatever.
We were playing the Citrus
We were
Wars.
murdering each other. Yeah, that was so fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there were some events. I'll be honest with you, some like I used to do Trimbo Tuesdays all the time. And it's funny because we
Yeah.
have literally Trimbo Sunday coming up on Sunday where we're going to have our
On the
1 year anniversary for Trimbo.
this
That is going to be
Sunday.
nuts.
Is it this Sunday?
Yes, it is this Sunday.
Oh, that'll be Monday for me, and I'll be going to my first day of school.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Well, it's my first day of school in the third term, but still,
Yeah.
that is sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna have to have an event or something. I'll try to, make it happen for you. Um, maybe we'll do it over just the
Yeah.
weekend. Like Trimbo Sunday all weekend, and then we'll have some sort
This,
of event. I haven't hosted an event since like April. Honest Trimbo Tuesday since like April, and it wasn't even me
yeah,
hosting it. It was Bjorn, Thrud, and Caleb, and all them.
yeah, yeah. I remember.
So Waggle got banned and then he got unbanned. But at the time, I wasn't focused on Waggle. There were other players that I had issues with. And I remember
Yeah,
just thinking like Waggle was this like shitty little kid that I really won't have any problems with.
yeah. Waggle was interesting. He changed quite a bit over his time on Trimbo.
Yeah,
Cause like spoke to him in BC, and he was kind of nice to talk to, but then he'd just go and do all this
chaotic
murdering.
stuff. It's like a switch would
Yeah,
be flipped. And I
yeah,
don't know. Like I feel bad about the first time I banned not Waggle, it was Blizzard. Because that was kind of a power trip on me. Well, no, because it was a fight between Blizzard and I because I wanted one thing and Blizzard was fighting that. It was like a kind of a thing, a tug of war, but I had a bigger hammer, so I swung it. And it was just
yeah.
over. Let's see what happened. They were talking about doxing people, um,
Uh,
which I mean,
yeah.
there is. I don't know if this particular player wants me to say, but I know that one of our admins was literally doxxed by Waggle. Like they found their um uh wow, wait a second. You can hang pots now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Pretty epic. I have it in like a lot of my houses because it looks nice, I guess. And you put ferns in them because otherwise it's just floating. But if you put the fern in, then it's kind of looks cool.
No legs it wasn't.
Uh,
But according well, yeah. But yeah, somebody found their Instagram. And they were like trying to subscribe him to porn accounts and stuff, and it was like not like they were like trying to get him to have recommended porn accounts on there. I don't know. It was just wrong. And so they were talking about that on the server, and I was like, we're gonna stop talking about this right now. And they were like, well, we already did, and they were ended it with, um, like I'm full of shit. Something it was just basically not taking me seriously, and I was like, okay, no, we're gonna take me seriously, and we're ending this. They wanted to continue it, so yeah, I banned Blizzard, and then that
Nice.
whole everything that happened in that Discord server with Satulo. Satulo grabbed onto that like you wouldn't believe. It's kind of sad because I feel like he doesn't build stuff on his own. He grabs things that are already slightly built and tries to make them his own, which is a I don't know, in
Yeah.
my opinion that's kind of a bitch thing to do. Like like this server I created all through well not yeah I'd say I mean this is all me, you know, like I advertising and just keeping the server going. I can say that this is, you know, I all done mostly by me and a little bit of Deadly in the beginning, and then it just kind of snowballed, kept on
Yeah.
going. But that pissed me off about Satulo and how he was openly inciting people to quit the server and roll back the server a fucking year. Like that
Yeah, that was
was that's just uncalled for, you know. And then when I found out about that, I was like, Caleb knew about it. Caleb knew about it for a while, and he didn't. I'm gonna sit because we have chairs. Uh, like Caleb knew about it, and you know, he didn't want to tell me because he felt uncomfortable, which I get. But I mean, when he finally told me, it was like a month afterward, and a few other mods came to me like because I was talking about promoting Satulo, and everyone was like, "Hold on a second there," and
mm,
yeah, um, yeah, that's how Satulo kind of got kicked because I I had no like after I got all that information, I was like, I don't like I have no interest in making this person an admin. Then I made side admin. Then they were like, well, make side like Satula literally said this. He was like, oh, why don't you make side hatch an admin? I was like, okay.
yeah.
So I did.
Now Psyduck is an admin.
Yeah, and then I
I
gave part ownership to GV, and so he could do my dirty work. And well, here's the thing: is I had no I wasn't going to demote Side Hat or not or Satulo immediately, even though I should have. I talked to him about it first, and he completely denied it. No, I'll be honest. If I didn't give ownership to GV, I probably would have done it a week later. Only I just would have openly told him, and he probably would have
yeah,
quit just all the same. But
yeah, I think Satulo was in the VC and GV demoted him and then he just immediately left.
were you
It
there
was
for that?
yeah, I was there. I
Really?
think it was GV, Satulo and I, maybe someone else. Sky potentially? I'm not sure.
Did he
Someone else was
send him
there.
a private message, or did he just tell him openly, like, "Hey, you're not a mod anymore"?
He sent him a message.
Did Satulo say anything? Like,
And nope, he just immediately left the VC. It was just like
wow. Yep.
yeah, it was interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
God.
I think I was on that like the Knights of Trimbo Discord server, but like I don't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to it at all. So I think
Well,
I was like,
I know I didn't like the fact that they started their own like I don't like the idea of people starting their own Discord. I mean like this, like if you and Caleb and all the other people started your own Discord, that would be cool. Like I wouldn't get mad. You know, I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, but at the same time, you guys have a place to go that's other than Trimbo." You know? And there was a time where I was like, "Yeah, start your own Discord server. You know, you have a place for to talk shit about me." Well,
eh,
when you have a place to talk shit about me, that's where problems fester, you know. And a lot of
yeah,
times you don't tell me the problems that you have with me until it's too late, you know, until you're like, well, I'm about to leave, make this happen or I'm quitting the server. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make it happen, and then you quit the server, you know.
yeah,
Multiple people have done that.
yeah. It's not
But
the right way to go about things, I guess.
at the same time though, like I can't control people doing any of that. Like I can't control people starting other Minecraft servers or other Discord servers. It's happened, you know.
Mm,
And you just live with it. I think, you know, my best thing is to try to create the best server I can, as far as I can tell at least, and keep
for
that going. But
people who want to stay, you know.
yes, and the people that want to stay are kind of the people I like, because there's a certain group of players that come on And I'm like, if you quit, I wouldn't cry. But I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
there are some that if I'm like, if you did quit, I would cry. Like you and Sky and Caleb, and you guys have kind of encapsulated this new generation of players. Like back in the day, it like you could get on and you could see Schnitz and Timmer and KCal and T. They were all on and interacting with each other. It was like this friend group that was created on Trimbo, and they left and they did their own Minecraft server. Schnitz is still around, and so is gaming, and everyone else kind of left. But
Yeah.
and you guys are kind of the new group, like Sky and gaming and you and GV and like you guys
Lego.
in yeah, it's Master Lego, Pineapple. You guys
Yeah.
encapsulate this new player base, this new
Yeah.
generation of players. Like, you guys need a name to associate all of you together. Like the old people had the TF tards. But I don't.
Like my sister just play Minecraft together, so we couldn't have a cool name like that. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. But
man.
I don't know. I think it's cool, and it's gonna be, and I know one day the day will come to where you guys aren't gonna be playing as much anymore, and I don't know, maybe a new generation of players will come around that time, and maybe y'all will be a part of that as well. And I'm not saying that'll come to an end anytime soon, and I don't want it to. But I
Yeah.
remember in December or January when Schnitz quit the server the first time. It was inevitable. So before Schnitz quit the server, I would be able to get on the Discord, like, when I get out of work in the afternoon, at least, my afternoon. And
Yeah.
I'd be able to interact with all these people. They'd all be screaming at each other playing TF2 or whatever, but it'd be nice. Schnitz quit the server, goes on to the motorcycles Discord, and that never happened again. Like that never happened again. I never had a VC with the TF Tards all together after that. Maybe a little bit. Like it took a massive hit. And then I might see Timmer or KCal on for a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go." And then it was the end of December when all that happened. And then
Yeah.
January rolled around, and I would get on the Discord, and no one would be on. And it wasn't until like February and March when you guys all started to really integrate yourselves back into the server that that I was like, okay, like I've said this before. What are the good times? I don't think we're completely in the good times of Spawn 7 yet because I'm not doing events like I used to. But
Yeah.
and events are what keep the server together, like brings people together. Trimbo Tuesdays, from what I've heard, that's how like Niwi, if you remember Niwi, they got really
Yeah.
they loved the Trimbo Tuesdays. And I
Trimbo
think,
Tuesdays was very fun.
yeah,
It was just something different to do, with people.
that you're
So
interacting with people with, yeah,
yeah.
it's a
So
lot of
that was
fun.
very.
But yeah, yeah. So you during the whole situation with Bjarn and Thrud, Waggle became too corrupt with his friends.
He was.
And
Yeah.
the issue here was I made Bjarn and Thrud um, admins, and they would not allow me to really ban Waggle. And I remember thinking in the beginning, like, when Waggle would have problems, they would come in and be like, "Oh no, he's a clever boy, he's fine, come on, you give him another chance." I'm like, well, there's all these other players that I don't give chances to, that do
Yeah.
not as bad shit as Waggle does. Why should I? Like, their logic was just never there. It's because it was favoritism and they like the dude. And I get that, like I've favorited some players and let them get away with shit, but I mean, like if you back during Spawn 2, there was a player named Commander Parado. Uh, the true Chewy,
Yeah, that guy's in the Hall of Fame or
the
whatever.
true Chewy. Yes, that guy. Um, yeah, that's interesting because yeah, I let him go for a while. So what he would do is I gave him creative mode because he got griefed, and I don't know if I can't remember why I did that because I know I had core protect back then. Anyway, what he was doing is he was going to like Nymphadora's house and a couple other people's houses and just spawning creepers and shit. And I would just be like, yeah, as long as you're not using hacks, you're fine, you know. And then Deadly one day was just like, I am not about this. And he came to me and he's like, I'm getting rid of this guy, just like that. I was like,
Yep.
okay. I mean, I kind of like him to be honest with you. And he's like, well, he's doing this, and this. And I was like, all right, go ahead. And then he talked to him, and then and then the True Chewy messaged me, and he was just like, dude, Deadly said he was gonna ban me. What the fuck? What are you gonna do? And I was like, it's partially his server too, because at the time I made him part owner, you know, and
Yeah.
technically he still is, because I mean, if with the way, I mean, technically with the way things are, the old owners of Trimbo gave Deadly and I ownership of it. And I gave part ownership um, to GV, which means I own less of Trimbo than Deadly does.
Wow.
I guess I don't know. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's my server, and I just call it Trimbo.
Yeah. I mean, you do have the server in your office, so
I do have the server in my office. Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep.
yes.
So what fascinates you about this server that makes you stick around? Is it the
Uh,
lore? Is it just the fact that you enjoy playing here and it's a cool server?
it's the
Probably the latter.
people that make me stick around because, like, I have a very I'm very bad at staying interested in things. Like I used to play the clarinet and then I was like very good at it and I just quit. But like with the people on Trimbo, I can stay interested because yeah, so they're
There's
just
a lot
like
of
fun to hang
there
around.
interesting events happen. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. I there are times when I'm super bored with the server, especially during Spawn 6 towards the end. I was very bored with the server. Even like in April. And I'll be honest, when the meltdown happened, when that thing happened with Schnitz and he couldn't get the server started, I legitimately was kind of excited. I was like, okay, something different's happening now. Wow, okay, all right. Let's okay, we're changing things up now, like, you know, and it changes things for everybody. You know, and then it gives me something to do, and I don't know. At the end of
Yeah.
that though, like I kind of realized I don't think it was completely entirely the meltdown was entirely Schnitz's fault, because we what Donut Dan did is he reset. There's files in the server called JDM files. I'm not too sure what they do. I think they I don't know. But basically he reset those and the server ran, but the VPN wasn't working on the server, and that's completely different than you know what's on the Minecraft server, and the operating system was having issues. So once we reset those, which we reset the operating system and the VPN, we added another 16 gigs of RAM to the server. It was at 16 before. We're at 32.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
like the server has never ran better, like performance wise. And I think you know that kind of came down to you know what happened on with the Great Meltdown.
yeah. Yeah. So it
So
sucked, but in a way
it,
it
it
helped. So
yes, it worked out.
yes, that's pretty poggers.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, um, let's see. I guess we can continue with Waggle. So Waggle, let's see. That whole story. I think that helped. That event, the meltdown, and me banning Blizzard all made them kind of start their own group against Trimbo. Like they didn't
Yeah.
like me, they didn't like GV after that. after that, it was like whatever they could do to cause shit, they would do. I remember when Waggle had that thing that GIF.
Oh, that
Um,
Crash Discord. Oh my,
yeah,
I hated that. I would just open like a chat and my Discord would just immediately crash, and then I'd open Discord and I'd be back in that chat.
yeah, and
It
then it would
was
immediately
really
crash. And didn't he send that to you in a DM?
he sent me the server where like there was a whole server dedicated to like crash gifs that would crash your Discord. I think it's been removed now, but he sent that to me. It was
Oh
not
shit.
fun.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, I know
Yeah,
he incited. He used to fight people all the time. Like he would always pee. That was just being a dick.
yeah, just murdering.
But I mean, he had to go, and Bjorn and Thread wouldn't allow that to happen. And GV
Yeah, if
kept getting on me about that. GV was the most pissed about that situation because he would come to me and he would say shit like you have no control over your server, and I'd be like I fucking know. And it was
yeah,
true, you know. And I had to take back control. Well, I more gave control to GV and said just go crazy, do whatever you want. And he bandwaggled and got rid of Satulo. That's literally all he did. And then everyone else left, claiming corruption. And I was like, you
yeah,
know what? No one said that since. I mean,
exactly.
they took they started their own server and they took 9 Trimbo players with them. And of those
Yep.
players, I will say, I think I think they made a good choice.
Yeah, I think we are definitely better without them because we've got players who don't claim corruption and actually like enjoy playing.
Playing on that's
So
it. That's all it takes. Is just play on the server. Enjoy it.
yeah, just have some fun.
Damn.
Yeah,
So you went to Spawn 6. You built a little house. Have you built a house since? Now that you're an admin, you don't really need
I
a
mean,
house,
I don't need them, but I have one at Spawn 7. It's a little
do you?
cottage again on top of a mountain. I've got some goats named
Oh,
Ho Ho 2 and Ho 3. Um, so
ho ho Monroe.
yeah,
Wow.
people keep destroying my house, so it's really annoying. So yeah, I'm
Mm.
like right next to the condos or the hotel or whatever that Tyler built. So
I might buy a. Oh wait, I know exactly where your house is then. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a cute little cottage place. I
it
like it.
is
Nice.
very loud. I wish I had my shaders. It always looks so nice with shaders.
I haven't used shaders since 2019, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think that this server's been around for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, and
Wow.
that's so much time. I remember when what I miss the most is the Minecraft statistics website.
I love that
Yeah.
website.
Because you would be able to monitor your hours, and then you'd pass somebody, and then you'd tell them, and then you get on and be like, I have more hours than T now, or whatever, or Loco Lena. I remember back when it was me, the people with the highest hours was me, Loco Lena, and T, and then Zeron. But that was like spawn one times.
Yeah. Since the last time my statistics were reset, I've played 34 days on the server.
Really? Total
Yeah, I used to,
34 days. God.
yeah. But it's been reset a few times because I had like 14 days and then it was reset and then I had another 14, it was
Right.
reset. It was not a fun time. But it hasn't been reset in ages, so it's pretty pog.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's kind of sucks. They had a hard drive. They didn't have a hard drive fill. Well, I guess they did. They had a time warp, like the server did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would consider the Great Meltdown because the Great Melt we didn't have a time warp during that. It just the server was off. We
Yeah,
were we were about to pull it back up though. I was and the Schnitz was telling me that he was like, let's just pull it back up. And the last backup was like 12 days before that, which would have been a lot. But
yeah,
glad it didn't happen.
yes, me too.
Yeah. So when did you start interacting with Bingus? It was she was one of the first people you really
Well,
friended
I
on
think
the server, I feel like.
the first people I friended were probably like GB and Sky.
Yeah.
Uh, but when did I first interact? It was around Christmas, because that's when she joined with her new name, and I changed my name. So it was sometime around Christmas, I think, which is still Spawn 5.
Were you there for her
Christmas?
podcast?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, why? She's your best
I
friend.
know, I know, I'm married to her.
You're married to her. You didn't even go to your wife's podcast. Well, she's not here right now.
Exactly. Um, it's karma.
Right. God.
So, I know. I don't think was anyone at her podcast.
A few.
I think I
Oh,
may have.
maybe. I think that one was one of the lone ones.
Yeah.
You
I
see,
don't know.
I don't know. I feel like my problem with podcasts is I feel like I either start ranting and talking, or like I mean I do that. I go on rants all the time. You know that.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember the alien, the UFO conversations.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was.
If you want to talk about UFOs, don't get me started. Um,
Yeah.
but it's either that or it ends up like the Yowzers and gaming. Where I get so scared of that. I'm like, is this gonna be a good podcast or is this gonna be not that good? Am I gonna have to
Yeah.
be talking the whole time? And then I kind of psych myself up, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna do it. I do the same thing with Trimbo Tuesdays, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna host Trimbo Tuesday this Saturday. That'd be really awesome, and I have the time. I'm gonna do it, and then then I'm like, I'm gonna post it. When I post it, people get all excited, and then the day comes and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. All right. Well, maybe we could do it with four people. Well, that person out of the four people that are online are actually gonna want to do something. And at that point, you're just playing Minecraft with one other person.
Yeah. I think that's happened a few times, but when people actually show up, it's fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We
Yeah.
did. You were there for the when we did the build battle. That was one of my favorite ones
Yeah.
ever.
That was
Um,
really
yeah. With
and like hide and seek and all that.
yes, that was
Yeah.
so fun. Hide and seek in the um
The
uh
old spawns and whatnot.
Well, it was in yeah, we did that in the old spawn. I remember when nobody could find anybody. I remember Sky went, I cheated. So Sky went and dug underground somewhere very, very far. And I was just like, okay, and I kept typing near, and I kept getting closer until I was literally on top of them. And I was like, okay. So I went down the shaft and I saw them, and I was like, Sky, and they were running away. And yeah, that's how I found Sky. That was with cheats though.
Yeah.
God.
I think the only time that I was kind of difficult to find, I was in like that room under spawn 6 that Nymphadora built. I forgot what it was called, but it was like just multicolor wool, and I built
Oh
myself a
yeah,
little box,
the therapy
and
room.
and it took forever for anyone to find me. But it wasn't like I was really hiding. It was just no one went down there. So, but other than that, I kind of sucked at hide and seek. So
Yeah.
that it was still fun though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of good times. What did you ever think of the
Yeah.
Jackbox deal that we had
Oh
going
yeah,
on?
Jackbox was really fun. I love playing Jackbox. Some of the games weren't as good, but
Yeah.
there were ones which were very fun to play. It was a great way to end Trimbo Tuesday.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, because people just kind of fade out after that,
Yeah,
and it
because
allows people
Jackbox
to.
is like
Yeah.
not as many people.
Well,
It's the last.
I feel like an event right now would be really good is because we have all these new players and not a lot of them interact with each other. They're like if you're on the server and you have like 15 people on but no one's talking, that's a problem. That's people that are gonna be on for a couple days and leave.
Yeah, because the people are part of what keep you on from because that's
Yes.
definitely what made me stay the most was people.
Well, if you
So
remember Spawn 6 towards the end, it was dead, you know? Like I truly feel bad about Spawn 6 because I should have ended it in like May and then started Spawn 7 like early May, late April, maybe. And then that would have allowed Spawn 7 to go through, 3 months. Because my idea is this. You want at least 3 spawns per year. And right now we're on the agenda for 2 because Spawn 6 lasted so long. So I mean
yeah,
we might like in November or October change the spawn over, but that's 3 months from now. Like October is literally 3 months from now.
when's the second 1.17 coming out?
Um,
Because
yeah,
that'll be
holidays.
when you'll have to change spawn
Yes. So
because of the world gen.
I have plans for that, but no matter what, it's gonna be tricky. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
it'll be interesting. We'll see.
I gotta undo some chunks, I guess. So,
Yeah, but I'm kind of excited for New World Generation.
yeah,
So
me too. Me too. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be in amplified. Amplified 1.175 or whatever they're gonna call it. 1.18 maybe.
probably, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it'll be it'll be so much easier to mine. I don't mine anymore because like I have no reason to. But the people that still do will be able to get materials easy peasy. So
Right. Yeah. Well,
kind of
that's a
excited.
couple of things like what Honkra complained about. It was like this is not generated in 1.175 or 1.17. We were like, yeah, sorry about that. And I think they quit the server because well, they probably quit the server more because we moved their shop and put mustaches and stuff all over their stuff.
It was kind of funny though. Yeah.
Oh
Fancy
yeah,
Lottle
it
man,
was good.
don't dis. Yeah, Fancy Lottle is the best.
Fancy
Just gonna
Lottle
buy.
is great.
Yes,
I
we had
remember
a
during
whole.
Spawn 6, Jazz or Herbal was their name back then. They
Herbal.
really wanted their giant tower like smack dab in the center of Spawn. And
Yeah,
I remember moving that going, hell no. And they kept asking all the other admins, like, can you move it back to Spawn, please? Like, if somebody did that, do you think I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's there now. You can't move it back. Like, no, like, I'm gonna move it back and tell the admin not to do that.
exactly. I think it was moved to Mesa, right? I think I saw it a few times. It was an
Yes.
interesting build.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he ever finished it though, so
Well, it was one of those like vertical farming kind of builds. T built one of those at Spawn 1. A couple of those actually. There's 3 of them at Spawn 1.
huh.
But they were all built in Create. A lot of stuff at Spawn 1, most stuff in Spawn 1, I'd say like 80% of the stuff at Spawn 1 it was built in Creative.
Wasn't most of it built by like you?
Me, yeah. Well, the big village and the pathway was built by me. But like T's
Yeah.
house, we got a skeleton over here.
Yo,
Wonder what
he
he's gonna
wants to
do.
join the podcast.
Oh, he's in it. I like this little podcast room though. I'll say this, it's not as good as Spawn Six's podcast room.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Like the tree and the library thing.
Yeah. Oh, and the skeleton.
Hello.
Hello, good sir. Oh, there he goes.
I think I am gonna start playing on the server though, survival. But nobody's gonna know that it's me
He's
at
get like
all.
an alt.
Yeah, I'm gonna get an alt, and I'm gonna not tell anybody that
You
I'm
gotta
base.
not threaten people's kidneys.
I gotta not threaten people's kidneys. I gotta not get on and say, God damn it. I gotta not, because as soon as that happens, like,
Everyone notices you.
yeah,
Used to like come on ults and then like be like, so how do I grief? Where do I get TNT? And it's just like, oh, that's base.
that's base. I know. Well, that was when I had alts with MC leaks. When MC
Yeah,
leaks kind of worked. Here's what I think happened with MC leaks. It got really big, and they only had a certain amount of alts. So, and they're all being used. So every time you go on there, you can't get an alt anymore, and it kind of sucks.
damn. There's probably like hundreds of Minecraft like free alt websites.
Oh, there probably is. There probably
There's
is.
a lot that cost like 1 cent though.
But
A lot of them.
I'm gonna buy a second Minecraft account.
Yeah.
Then after I complete my Minecraftness on the server, I'm gonna get to know the mods and everything, and from the ground up. I feel like that would be such a different way to look at this undercover boss kind of thing.
That would be so interesting and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
'Cause I have not played survival Minecraft in ages either.
Since
But
you
not as
became
long
a
as
mod, really.
yeah. Like after I got admin, I was like, oh, I won't use creative that much. But then, and then I was like, oh, I guess I just live in creative now.
What's crazy about Trimbo being 2 years old is around the same time I'm turning 10 on Trimbo. Like I joined Trimbo 2011 July, and I started Trimbo Amplified 2019 July. And so, I mean,
Wow.
shit, I remember getting on in one point, in it was Minecraft beta 1.7.3, and there was no creative mode. There was nothing. Like this is crazy. The first time I didn't believe you could fly. There's Caleb.
Yeah.
I didn't believe flying was able like on Minecraft. I didn't know there was mods or anything for it. And so when I joined Trimbo, I I I started off by going to this dude's house and I was like, "Hey, can I bunk with you for a night?" And I stayed there for like a whole day IRL. And the next day, I logged onto the server and he was there, and I was like doing something, and he sets it on fire, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I regret nothing," and he was gone.
Damn.
And
That is.
we had something back then called Lock LMC. Basically, if you have a chest, it can't be destroyed by anything or anybody except for you or admins.
Um,
And so there was this floating chest to this there, and I built my house like right next to his. And I remember I was like, all right, I'm just gonna grow a tree right here. I put a tree, and it grew over the chest, and and I remember Xenix actually showed up, um, and I was like, hey, this can I get rid of this? The guy that owned the house burned it down, and now I just want to live here without that thing there. He was like, yeah, sure. And so after a minute, I saw this video on YouTube of these people building this floating village island thing. And my buddy showed it to me. Like, I had a guy, I went to a dude's house before I started playing Minecraft, and he showed me Minecraft. And I thought it was super cool. I didn't think it was that cool. That night, I bought it, and I just spent hours on it. And he showed me that video of people building stuff. And so while I was on Trimbo, I was like, okay, here's spawn. And a little bit away from spawn, I started gathering dirt and stone. And I built this giant floating island. And I remember the first day I put like hours into it. So it was partially done the second day. And I remember looking up, going towards my island, looking up and seeing Deadly Chris flying off of the island. And that was the moment where I
oh,
was like, oh shit, you can fly in this game? And I remember interacting with Deadly and I was thinking like he was such a like a high-end player. You know, he was an admin on Trimbo, like on a Minecraft server. Like, whoa, like what power do you have here? Like, what can you do? And he pulls out World Edit and he shows me the wand, and he's showing me how he's like getting a square area and setting it as stone. And
Yeah.
I was so interested in that. I thought it was so cool. And then Trimbo went down for a minute. I applied for the builder role, and I got it. And I kept on, and then people, I was like, anybody, everybody, come on up here and build a house on Heightfoot Village is what I called it. Heightfoot. And
Interesting.
yeah, and yeah, and that first week it was awesome, and we had players like, like there was a player named Draco Rider, which logged on to this server. He was big during that time. Um, yeah. Um, for like the first week it was great, and then Trimbo was dead for like the next 2 weeks, and I was like, nobody's on my island anymore. And then they were like, well, do you want us to promote you to mod? I was like, sure. They made me a mod. And at the time, mod didn't exist. It went from builder, like builder is like an inspector, only they got kits to build stuff with because there was no creative mode back then. So you got kits and stuff. You got like water, which was actual water. It wasn't a water like bucket. It was just water. And you actual fire. Like you had fire in your inventory.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
epic.
Yeah. So it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
And then I became an admin, and then I mean the clock just ticked faster and faster from there. We had more servers. We hosted a lot of different maps under the Trimbo name. Then a bunch of shit happened between the owners. They sent me the name of the server basically, and I hosted it ever since. Here
Yes,
I
and
am
now
gonna.
we have
Can I? Yes, I can. I'm gonna pause this real quick 'cause I have to use the restroom. Be
all
like
good.
5 minutes. I'm gonna pause now. There we go. Cool. And we're back.
Yo. Very swag, very
But
swag.
but yes, what were we talking about? Um, the events.
Oh,
No.
yes. We were talking about Oldie's Trimbo, and Deadly Chris and you getting admin, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, 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 yeah. Going over the old history,
And
I guess.
your island.
Yeah, yeah. There's a picture of that on the wiki on the timeline
Oh,
if you were to
that's
look.
epic. Let
Yes.
me see. Trimbo fandom locations,
No,
potentially.
it'd be in the um
Uh,
what's it
let me
called?
see.
In the timeline. Sorry.
Llama genocide. Why did
The llama genocide.
it? Anyway,
Yeah,
where is the timeline? Very bad at finding
it
things.
should be there.
It is somewhere. I'm bad at finding. Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, Trimbo.
Schnitz threw a
Hmm.
grenade.
Yo, damn.
Kind of got rid of the lighting over there though.
Hypefoot village that helped base player become admin.
Yes, that is the village.
That's epic. And
They
then there's a picture
existed.
of you and Deadly Chris.
Yep. Deadly and I. That's the day that Deadly and I got the Trimbo names, and then I made Deadly make a suit version, because when I became an admin, I was like, okay, hold on, if I'm gonna do this admin stuff, I gotta be official. So I made this suit thing during yeah,
Fancy.
yep.
sometimes life is cock and bull torture without
Yes.
Damn, that's deep. That is so deep.
So where do you see your future on Trimbo being? I don't plan on getting rid of the server anytime soon. If
I don't know.
yeah,
I just plan on vibing and lasting as long as I can. Well, still having fun.
yeah.
Yes. So
Well, I
I
think
really like
yeah,
Trimbo. Very
good,
swag.
good. Glad to hear that. I think no matter what, you're gonna get like everyone gets bored with the server at one point or another. And
Yes.
I think sticking around when you are bored
Not a
incites
good idea.
it makes you toxic, yeah, because you're pissed off that you're not happy and you're mad at everyone else for not making you happy. So you get more pissed off and then they get pissed off and then the vibes are toxic and you know. I think that sort of happened with Bjarn and Thrud in the end. I think especially after they became admins, they didn't enjoy the server. They they moderated. They were admins, you know. They didn't play the server. They moderated it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I think yeah, when you become admin, you like you have so many things to do, but then you eventually burn out. So you have to figure
everything.
out
Yeah.
things to do that are fun and not like taxing, I guess. So
W- What I realize is,
that's
yeah, a lot of people don't interact with other players. And that
mm,
helps, you know, like if somebody's building something and they're like, I'm gonna go find some logs or something. Does anyone want to come help me? And you're like, yeah, sure. And you just go into survival mode real quick, get an axe, and then go hang out with them while they mine logs. That is fun, legitimately. Just
yeah,
like mining, like interacting with players. That'll make you feel, and that'll make them feel like they're welcome here in the community. Every time they see you, like, oh hey, so and so's on. They're like, they'll feel good, you know. And if you see them and you point them out, they'll feel better about hanging out with people.
yeah. The community is definitely what keeps most people here. Like
Yeah,
without the people that are make up most of Trimbo, I would not stay
yeah.
because they're what make it interesting, I guess.
I keep
So
on thinking if this was a survival map, I wouldn't. This wouldn't have gone this far. I would have built Spawn One a little bit. Actually, the first couple of structures in near Spawn One, the if you see, there is a villager, a place with like villager statues on it. That was the first structure really built on the server, and that was before this. I had the idea of making this server into a server, you know, the map into a server. That was
mm,
back then. It was wishful thinking. I was like, well, maybe one day I'll start another server up and I'll use this map. That was my thought,
oh,
and that's exactly what happened because it was a year and a half later that I started this map up
damn.
from when I did that. So I was 23 years old when I made this map. I'm 27
Now
now.
you're no, you're definitely 30.
I'm
I don't know what you're
30,
talking
right.
about.
Do you know how that happened? The idea of me being
Uh,
30?
I don't know. I'm
It
not
was
sure.
T's podcast. And
Oh,
and she was talking about how I need to be careful with what I say and what I do on the server cuz everyone on the server is like 14 years old and I'm basically 30. And I remember sitting there when she said that just going, "No, I'm not 30. I am not 30. I am 26. That is 4 years away from 30. I know I'm not 30. If I was 30, I'd knew I was 30." Oh,
would be though.
our friends left.
Damn, how dare they?
Yes.
This is so sad. But are you like 100% sure you're not 30? That's what I want to know.
Am I 100% sure I'm not 30? Well, I don't remember 1992, but I don't remember 1996 either.
Intriguing.
I'm leaning more into the fact that I'm like 21, but I do remember 9/11. So, and I remember being 7 during 9/11. So that would
Was
make
you?
me 27. That
What
all
year was
rhymed.
9/11? That did. Was I even? Wait, I forgot what year 9/11 was in. Yeah,
2001.
I was not born.
Nope. That's crazy. It's crazy to think that when I started playing Minecraft, you weren't even old enough. Were you talking?
Uh, my parents had just gotten married. Like they were married in 2000. So,
Wow. No, I'm talking about Spawn, like the. No, I mean, Trimbo itself. When I first got onto Trimbo, you weren't even talking yet. Like, or maybe you were. I don't know. Like, you old enough to
well,
talk is what I'm saying.
I was probably like two or
3.
three when
Yeah,
yeah. I
2 or 3.
the first memory I have is when I was 3 and I was playing with like something on my like living room floor. I think it was like Christmas,
Yeah.
and then after that, don't remember anything. So it's pretty
While you
old.
were doing that, while you were on your floor playing with things, I was probably on Trimbo.
Damn.
Think about that. When you were a little kid, a toddler running around, I was playing on this server, and here you are, 10 years later, hanging out.
Wow,
Think about
that
this
is
though. I used to think like if like when I was a kid, I was like maybe somebody born right now will be my boss someday, or I work with them, and I'm working with people that are borderline 8 years, 9 years younger than I am, and I'm just like fuck. When I was 18, you were like 9, you were like 10.
that is weird to think about.
Mhm. When people just grow up and
Time has been going so fast recently because I've it's just everything's been going so fast. It's 2021. I felt like it was 2020 like 2 days ago, man. Like
I get
I
it.
don't like it.
It
It's
makes
just
me,
too.
I don't know, I don't feel like 2020 was that long ago. It was like last month in my mind. I remember
Yeah.
making the meme for Spawn 6, and it doesn't feel
Oh,
like it was that long ago.
that was such a great. I love that.
I remember just sitting there laughing about it, going, "Okay, this is gonna be good."
Yeah, you were just laughing in the VC and everyone was confused. Oh, it was so beautiful though.
What's funny, base? I was like, nothing. I didn't even tell you. I didn't even confirm whether or not Spawn 6 was gonna happen back then.
Yeah.
What did you
Spawn Six
think?
is so.
I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I did that with Tyler the Stoner's podcast too. But he would continue talking. He would like talk over me. Like that's what you do in any conversation. If you want to assert yourself real hard, you just kind of continue saying what you need to say. And I remember that was a reason why gaming used to get mad because I would get really inebriated, and he would say something. He'd be in the middle of talking about something, and I would just say something stupid. And he would be like, "Fuck," and then he'd go into the server into VC chat and be like, or into suggestions, and like Base needs to stop getting stoned or getting drunk before he gets on the server, and then everyone liked it.
Uh,
I remember kind of going, "No, I'm not a problem."
no, no, not me.
I'm not.
I would never. Oh my.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. Like, I have a friend who hates being interrupted.
Yeah.
It's kind of. Otherwise, you're gonna forget what you're gonna say. It's like,
Yes.
write it down or something?
That was my argument with my ex sometimes. Like, I would hate it when she interrupted me, but I would interrupt her. And she'd be like, "See, you're doing it." I'm like, "Well, that's because you'll continue talking, and I'll just forget about what I have to say."
Exactly.
So I
Weird.
have the double standard here. It's okay for me to do it.
Yeah, it's not okay for
Yeah.
you to do. Oh
W-
my.
When you joined Trimbo, what did you think of the spawn idea? Like, what was your first impression of the fact that there were like 5 spawns?
I don't think I really knew about. the spawns for a little bit because like I joined and I just again I kept to myself. I did not talk to anyone. I just kind of played Minecraft and I was also really dumb because I like just got in Minecraft, I
Yeah.
think. So I didn't know much about Minecraft. I didn't know about plugins and you know
Really?
all the yeah, I was not
So it was all new to
so,
you.
yeah, I did not know much about anything. It took me like ages to realize slash home existed. It was a lifesaver though. This guy
You
told me about it.
you've
So
been on other Minecraft like you've spent time on other Minecraft servers before, right? Like
well, I've joined some just to try them out, and I haven't stayed with them. I've never really played them after
yeah,
that. Maybe Hypixel, I guess, but that doesn't really count. So
everyone plays Hypixel.
exactly. So, but this is the first Minecraft server I've stayed on for longer than like 2 hours. So,
Wow. Well,
because
I'm
they're all just so
glad.
yeah, because they're all just so like they just have such wilderness, and they all are just really not vanilla, and it's like I just want to play Minecraft with people and have fun.
There's a
Don't want.
certain type of Minecraft server that's out there that has to be out there. It has to have certain restrictions. It has to
Mm,
be, there's certain plugins. It has to work a certain way so that
yeah,
I mean, like the biggest thing here on this server is rolling back griefs. That's the hardest thing. That's probably the hardest thing you're going to have to deal with. And then the core protect doesn't really roll back everything, so you're going to have to deal with that kind of stuff. But I think that keeps the server interesting. And the fact
yeah,
here's how it worked with me though, because I had this map for a really long time, and I wasn't, and I had the server that the server's hosted on. I had the PC that the server's hosted on, but put I didn't host a server until I got on a Minecraft server. There was a server called Alchemy, and I was not the kind of player that I would even allow on this server. I was chaotic. I would get really, really drunk, get on there, and just be the worst asshole. And people accepted me, but I really liked the server because it was open like ours. It had that this server is kind of a not a copy, but I took a lot of inspiration from that. It wasn't amplified, but it had the Discord SRV, so you could talk through Discord on there. It had the core protect, so everything in Spawn was easy to like you could use, and I loved that because my favorite thing about Spawn during Trimbo times was that you could be at Spawn, you could be walking around, you'll see somebody else doing something, buying something or talking to somebody, and you're like, oh shit, another player, and they're interacting with somebody. You come up and you'll say something, they'll throw you an apple or they'll crouch a couple times, and you're like, oh shit, like people are here. I loved that. I love having a small little community, where Spawn is, where people interact, and then if you want to go out to your house that's far away, you don't have to interact with people out there. You can just do whatever you
yeah,
want. And that's the same thing here. You like, and I
yeah,
remember during Spawn 6, I loved that, especially in like February when the shops were huge and you could do slash spawn and you could look around and it would be impossible for you not to see a player walking around. And you're like, this is a
yeah,
lively server. There are people here that exist that are happy. I loved that.
yeah. I just love the vibe. It's like
Yeah.
again, the people are why you stay on Timbo, I guess, because it's just a nice place to chill. I also like that there's no land claiming because I'm like not for that.
There was a time when
And
there was.
yeah, no, but I used to be like really not like I was just lazy and dumb. I didn't know much about Minecraft, so I couldn't be bothered to learn how to use land claiming.
Right.
So that's why I wanted a server without it.
Yeah. Well, this is a server where you really can just join it and be like, all right, I'm gonna go build something. But you can also just go burn shit down, and that's what a lot of people do.
That's what a lot of people did yesterday. There was so many people banned. Oh my.
Your yesterday is my
Uh,
today. Wait.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
this morning, I
You
think.
are. You're like. It's like
It
early in the
was like
morning for you. It's like
really
9
early.
a.m.
It's 9:30 a.m.
Jeez. Yeah, it's
for me.
7:30 for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Like Well, yesterday for me, last afternoon for me, and like early this morning for you, there was so many people. It was really interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people stole. But
Yeah, that's what happens when you advertise on Reddit. Sometimes you get good players, that, and we've had a few of those, but I mean, no matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna come on and everything's covered in lava. It's chaotic.
yeah, someone broke like every chest in like a 200-mile radius of spawn. Like, I'm not even joking. It was so annoying.
How did they do that?
I I have no idea. It was just like, bruh, why do you want to do this?
Yeah.
So it
Hmm.
takes commitment though. Like, you go out, you break every chest. Like, that takes time. You take time out of your day to do that.
Yeah. It does
It's like
take
that
time.
one guy that stole a lot. It's like, bruh, how much stuff do you have to steal?
I think it's a goal for some people. I think it's like maybe I can just get the most amount of stuff without getting caught. That's a lot of like people who are obsessed with stealing things out of stores love the thrill of grabbing it, putting it in their coat pocket, and walking out of the store scot free. Like I just got away with doing something bad, and nobody knows
And
about it except for me, and it's such a thrill. So you keep doing it.
yeah, and then you get caught.
Then you get
Well,
caught and shit happens.
not
Yeah.
always. I never got caught. Uh, I used to steal a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure you did. You never got caught. I'm sure every player here that at one point, like there are some people that say that are like, "Oh, I've never stolen before," and I'm like, okay,
Like,
like
that's
the
a lie.
server's built for it.
Yeah.
I made this a rule during Spawn 3, and this was, I mean, during Spawn 3 it was a little bit, there was less players. Like we had the most amount of players we would have on at a time is like 14, 15. So I said like, you can don't steal, but if you do and you don't get caught, there's not much like don't get caught, like but now it's different. Like if you get on like so if I go to spawn 5 and I go to gaming's chest, right? And I grab some like a bed or something out of his chest and I go back to my house and I use it, right? Most likely I'm never going to get caught and it's fine.
Yeah.
But if I join the server and I immediately start going from chest to chest to chest to chest, you don't want to have to wait till somebody reports that. Like when I say getting caught, it's like somebody reports that you stole something.
Mm.
And that's no, you don't have to wait till someone reports it. You just have to like if people start stealing stuff like in an obvious level, yeah, throw them in jail. Easy.
Yeah.
But, there's a fine line. There's like where you can steal a little bit here and a little bit there, just teensy, teensy, tiny bits of things. It's just not getting caught. You know how to not get caught, and you'll get
Yeah.
away with
That's
stuff that way.
I
And
did.
that's how it works. And it makes the server more fun, to be honest with you. Like you get
Yeah.
to go into people's houses, and yes, we have Caleb smoking a couple of cigars. Those are 3 cigars.
Yeah. That's a beautiful image.
Yes.
Like, I would take a tinsy bit, like nothing noticeable, and I wouldn't take like everything
You're.
from one chest. I'd go around to different chests and
I
take just
mean,
a tinsy bit.
even if you did, I mean, you didn't. Like I said, no one's caught you. You didn't. Nobody reported. Like lesbian Jesus stole. You have done jail
How dare
time for burning down structures, but you haven't done jail time
we
for
were
stealing.
very obvious about that. We were like, oh yeah, let's burn down this factory, and we said it in chat, and then GB wrote it back immediately, and we tried to put it out. It was really funny, actually. So, can we ban this guy? Use flint and steel. Oh, that's a handy dandy achievement. Anyway,
Oh, nice,
yeah.
nice. I see what Schnitz he brought back the. Can we ban this? Oh, for the. Can we ban this guy? Use a flint and steel 3 times. I love it. Thank you, Schnitz. That's great.
That is
Schnitz for the
awesome.
fucking win. How we got Schnitz going on the server was really funny. He during Spawn 2 he came up. I remember one of the first interactions I had with him. It was deadly, and I were shooting fireballs at each other. And he shows up to the Spawn 2 arena, and he was like, "This is like some Harry Potter shit." At the time, I was like, "He probably doesn't know anything that we got going on here." Um, and then through time, I kind of kept Schnitz because he was really good on like when it came to commands and stuff, and he was really good at he was on the server a lot. And there was another player named Zeron at the time that would be kind of chaotic. And T came to me one day and was like, "I think Schnitz is like Zeron and he's chaotic." And she wasn't wrong. Schnitz is chaotic, but he knew how plugins worked and the command lines that basically he set up this whole all the servers plugins like he added so much shit. He made air fucking flammable at one point. I mean, he's
I
done a
don't
lot of
remember
crazy
that.
shit. That was during Spawn. You remember that? Wait,
Well,
you
I
heard about that?
remember hearing about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was not there for it.
That was during Spawn 4. Spawn 4 was a time where I wasn't on the server a lot. I think it was on the server the least during Spawn 4 out of all my time. Like I would leave, interact with the server on the Discord maybe once every couple of days, and then I'd do a dash scene on me. And one time it was like 16 days. I was like, jeez,
Damn.
yeah, life was changing for me.
Yep, and now you have absent father role. So,
Oh, I had the absent father role back during Spawn. That's how that happened. Was during Spawn 4.
yeah,
T put that on me.
yeah. Pretty
Was
bogus role,
the
man.
absent father role? Yeah. You know, I think you would have gotten along with T pretty well. She was cool when you don't criticize her.
I've met T briefly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
I was in
did
the
meet
theater.
T. What were your
Yeah,
impressions of her?
I didn't like talk to her too much, but the thing I remember most is whenever she'd say like lol or whatever, she'd be like lol question mark kind of
Lol.
sound. I don't know how to. Yeah, just like lol with question
it,
mark, like
it was like she doesn't know it to laugh at. Like I'd say something, and she'd be like lol, and I'd be like, but then they died, and then she'd be like lol.
yeah.
T was there in the beginning. There's to this day, well, next to Schnitz and Nymphadora, there's no other player. Well, Donut Dan. Donut Dan was around during that time, but I don't think he was on.
Mm, I don't know.
I don't know. He doesn't get on enough.
Yeah, he only
But
gets on when the server does die,
or when I
basically.
message him, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah. What other events come to mind when it comes to this? What do you think of when you think of Trimbo events? What comes to mind?
Oh God. I don't know. There's a lot has happened
Yeah.
like all the time.
No, just name one.
And, uh
Like, what's
oh God.
significant to lesbian? Trying to force this
Significant
out of you.
to me. I don't know. I oh I have a horrible memory.
Now you're under pressure. I don't like that. Like being under pressure is
I
sucks because it's like telling somebody to be funny is like telling somebody to fall asleep. You know, like
yeah,
trying to
it's like
fall
impossible.
asleep, it's impossible. It
Yeah.
has to
Like you
come
can't
naturally.
fall asleep if you're thinking about falling asleep. Like
Yeah.
you can't breathe if someone tells you to breathe. Like I
Well,
mean you can breathe, but
manually
you know
breathe.
you're
Like if I tell
breathing.
you to breathe manually, now you'll do it. You'll have to think about inhaling and
Yeah,
exhaling,
you have.
and you're like, God, I'm under so much pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done that
But
in
I don't know.
situations. Yeah, go ahead.
I just like hanging out. Like the most things I did, like I used to just hang out with GV mainly and Buffalo and that and Sky, and we would just kind of vibe. I guess like oh, and Feastus as well. We built like a post office, and we would just kind of chill and
Feastus's
mess
world?
around. Feastus is
World? You said
I
his world.
No, post we would vibe with Feastus occasionally.
Oh,
Feastus was interesting. But yeah, we
Feast just
built a
was
post office.
interesting.
Yes, I don't know, but it's kind of fun, just chilling, messing around. I think GV became a wither at one point, and we all tried to murder him. Uh,
GV
back
became
when
a
disguise
wither.
slogan was a thing.
Wow.
Disguise slogan was so fun.
Disguise. I
Yeah.
miss that. We had to take that off because it took too many plugins to use. But I remember doing that, going, nobody uses it, and you were like, no, I use that to mess with players.
It was so fun. You just become like, I think with Tyler the Stoner, we would become different, like drugs around him. It was pretty
You'd
great.
be different what?
Drugs. We'd just
Drugs?
kind of, yeah, because he's a stoner.
Yeah.
So we'd be like magic mushrooms and all that. It was really fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was really epic. And GV would like become like a massive phantom.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
What I'm thinking I might do with these little podcasts is kind of expand them and like have like
Mm.
individual Trimbocasts with people like I'm having with you. But like also just have like an open Trimbocast, and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go into, VC chat or some other place and just we're gonna, whoever wants to join, I'm gonna be recording this and then we'll all just talk.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
I just remembered. Do you remember like your old condo, right? And we would always
Yeah,
have those parties.
yeah.
Those were so fun. I
I
loved
have a
doing
couple of pictures from that.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
they were
Creeper Head party.
hilarious. Yeah, they were pretty epic.
Oh
You just
yeah.
got like everyone on the server would be in your condo, and it's just like, damn.
We had beers that Schnitz Labs or Mesa or Stein Mesa provided us alcohol,
Yeah,
and we all got messed up. Tyler the Stoner was there. I passed out creeper heads to people. Yeah,
it was a great time. I really enjoyed that.
that was in January.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
isn't that crazy?
Why? Yeah. But like even stuff like that and just like for
Yeah,
like podcasts and stuff would be just hella cool. Just everyone just having a good time. It would just
yeah.
be
The interaction is the idea. Like
yeah.
the fact that I can make an event happen and it forces people to have to interact with each other. And like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to this guy now. And like, oh, this is part of the server. Oh, this is a thing that the server does. I am part of history now. I'm part of this server. And being part of history on this server means something because this server has history that's significant to it. That it became a thing. I'm writing a book of Trimbo right now. You know?
Yeah. I've heard about that. How's it coming along?
I'm stuck on Spawn 2. I
I've
stopped
not
at Spawn 2 and just was like, yep, that's it.
You'll have to get someone from Spawn 2 to help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to a few people, but like I'm like here's the thing is if I'm stuck at Spawn 2, what am I gonna do at Spawn 3? Like Spawn 3 there was so much stuff happened. Spawn 4 I wasn't even there for. Like and God, Spawn 5, how do I explain what happened with the TF tards? And the uprising of Yowzers and the rise and fall of Yowzers in gaming.
I think there was a revolution against gaming as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that was in Spawn 6 though. That was, I don't know,
Now there
but that
wasn't
was interesting.
he wasn't as integrated in the server during Spawn 6. He became an admin. Once you become an admin, you kind of abandon. It's like becoming a rock star. There was an old lifestyle that you kind of forget about. Like, oh, mining? I don't do that anymore. If your car breaks down, you're broke, you're fucked. You're like, God, I can't do anything. But if you're rich, you don't even notice it. You know,
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Like when you become an admin, you're. I mean, Blizzard was right when she said that the admins here are gods because you can do whatever you want. You really can,
Yeah.
like, and if you were an admin once, it's really easy for you to become an admin again. Like Tyler the Stoner, he just asked. I was like, sure, I already made you an admin once. Like, like I'm
Yeah.
I'm down to do it again. 'Cause I like Tyler the Stoner.
Tyler's cool. He's
Yeah.
just a chill guy.
Yep. Yep. We are coming on 2 hours on this podcast.
Really?
Yep.
Damn, that is. It does not feel like two
I
hours.
know it doesn't. We're just in the beginning. It's. I always get nervous in the beginning. It's always kind of slow for me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, like I don't know what to
Yeah.
say. Like maybe I should write down talking points. And that's the thing about a podcast. You're not supposed to like write down talking points. You're supposed to just have it go flowingly. But I think, like I told you before, like I'm gonna ask you about your time on Trimbo and how you started here, and then we'll trail off. Well, maybe we'll talk about other things.
Yeah. I think that's good because then it prepares people, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it gives you a little bit like, oh yeah, well let me tell you about this. I looked this up a little bit beforehand. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you have something. Yes.
exactly. I think the time after everyone left with Waggle's group, that moment for a little while before um, I let the server, like when it was dying, like it was basically dead during the end of Spawn 6. Um, and I think that's good. I think it's good to have that time because having this little moment of nothing, of downtime provides like a gap, so we're not going from crazy to crazy. We're going from crazy, having a lot of shit happen to quietness, to like a transitional period. Like there's not much going on. It's quiet. But I made it last a little too long because it was between May and June. Like all of May on Spawn 6 just it was dead, like you got the most 5, 6 players on the server in a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like I said in the beginning, I wanted that to happen. I wanted a little transitional period, but I think I made it last too long. Um, I think we could have. I don't know. I don't think it really mattered in the end. It just
Yeah.
it worked
In like
out.
Spawn 7, we had all the, players that were actually staying got to build first, like all the people from Spawn 6.
6.
So that was
Yeah.
nice. We got to build on Spawn 7 first.
Well, I did that with Spawn 5 too, or when Spawn 6 started. Like I didn't advertise in the beginning. I was like I didn't advertise for a week during Spawn 6. I was like, okay, you guys come on in, build whatever you want. Which that's when Tyler the Stoner built his giant fucking tower. And
Yeah.
then gaming ruined. Well, he didn't ruin it. He didn't know what he was doing. He built a little base, and I had like this pathway made out with beacons that were just render distances long all across that lake. Um, and he just put this big old, basically his big old wall in between it. Nobody ever really followed it. I think maybe people did, but you never know. There's a lot of stuff on the server that you do intentionally to try to make people do, but at the end of the day, they did. It's you don't know if they do it or not.
Yeah. Do we have parkour at Spawn 7? Because we've had parkour at like all the old like Spawn 5
We
and
we had somebody set up a parkour map, but I mean, I think Sidehatch was the one that saw it and was like, "This is ugly," and it kind of was. It was like right above the trail, and I think if it was like above the water, you know, made it more challenging. I don't know. We do need a parkour map here. We need the circles so we can fly through because, like, I'll be honest, as an admin, uh-oh. God.
I thought you were in F1
How would you know?
because you always are.
When
that
I'm
is
doing podcasts, not all. Oh yeah, this time I kind of wanted to stay because we built this room in this podcast. So I guess I could go back to F1. There we go. Makes things easy. Mm,
TV is in his furry era.
yes.
Furry.
pretty pog.
Yep. All right. Well, lesbian, this has been a great talk. You have anything else to say?
I don't think so.
Anything else you're thinking about? You wanted to bring up in the?
Oh, I think on Valentine's Day, I think we were having like a party or something, and
Yeah.
that was the day I came out to my parents. I was with everyone in the VC, and I was like, messaged my mum. You know what I messaged? I was
Wait.
like, Mother, I'm a lesbian.
Wait. Back up here. Hold on a second. I remember you telling me about you coming out to your parents, but you were in Trimble VC
Yeah.
when you
I was
did you
really
tell them? Like, did you tell them physically or did you just message them?
I texted them because I'm afraid of face-to-face speaking.
Right. Huh.
It was super awkward. I did not talk to my mum all day.
What was it good? Did it end
Just
up
because I
okay?
was scared. Yeah, it ended up great. I
Or
was
they're like,
just
"Oh, we already knew
scared
that."
about. Well, I was always like, I'm never gonna marry a man, so it wasn't like surprising.
I'm never gonna marry a man. The way you said that.
I
It's
kind
such
of
a
was, but I was
such a lesbian, no, your character lesbian thing to
yeah,
say. I'm never gonna marry a man.
I am.
That's a great
Oh,
note to end this on. I'm never gonna marry a man.
yeah.
That's you, lesbian. All right.
Yes.
Well, it's been great. I always say I'm gonna do more of these podcasts. I always say I'm gonna have another one with you. You know, I
And
had
then
two
you never
podcasts
do.
with gaming, but I can't promise anything. You know, I'm gonna try to have what I said I was gonna do and have like every week or so or every 2 weeks or so often I'll have people come together at this table and then we'll all whoever wants to join the podcast can chime in and talk. So it's just
Yeah.
not me or one other person talking the whole time. So
You have a skeleton in your body, in your skin. Because I just went into F5 and I see a pink dot in your head.
That's
oh
his spinal cord.
yeah, that I made that. I put that there.
That
Like
is beautiful.
I created this skin and yeah, I ended up putting that there. So
Really. A
yep.
work of art.
Yeah, that skin, it looks very detailed.
Extremely
Oh, it is.
Details of this dick and ball.
beautiful.
Oh god.
Leave that in, I dare you.
Yes, do it.
I will. These don't get cut. Fucking side hatch, man.
Yeah.
This is a podcast. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh well.
I'm scared for side hatch. I don't know how that's gonna end up. Once side hatch gets bored, I hope he doesn't. I don't think he's gonna fuck with anything. I think he'll just like leave. Yeah.
I think side hatch will be fine.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, and he's stuck around for a while. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Very swag.
yeah, lesbian, this has been good. I'm glad we had this conversation. We can continue to talk for a while. So
Yeah.
alrighty.
Okay.
Well, until next time, lesbian.
Yeah. Whoa.
Woo.